Hello, my dear students. I welcome you to learn new topic, that is Dust of Snow. It's a wonderful poem written by a famous author, famous poet from America, Robert Frost. Dust of Snow by Robert Frost. Robert Frost was an American poet, received 4 Pulitzer Prizes for poetry. His personal life was plagued with grief and loss. I list out the problems and sorrows and worries what he had undergone in his life. First one, his father died of tuberculosis. His mother died of cancer. His younger sister, Jeannie, was committed to a mental hospital and died there. 4 of his children died before him. His wife developed breast cancer and died of heart failure. Frost's best works explored fundamental questions of existence. Frost's work was at the crossroads of 19th century American poetry and modernism. So these all are the background information about this poet, what the things happen in his life. It became his emotions became as poem here. The definition of the poetry is called the overflow of powerful feeling. This poem, Dust of Snow, by the Robert Frost, is a simple and short form, yet with deeper and larger meaning. The poet explains how an act as petty as experiencing snow on one's body can brighten one's day up. The message of this poem is put into words by Robert Frost. Always a larger significance. A little thing touches a larger thing. This is a famous quote. A little thing touches a larger thing. So this poem also very small poem. Only 2 stanzas. First stanza is 4 lines. And second stanza is 4 lines. There is no punctuation is used in this poem. Really is a great creation of this poet. First 4 lines. The way a crow soaked down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rode. Hemlock tree with snow. So let's analyze this poem. This poem is set in a scene where the poet is in bad mood and is walking by a tree, a hemlock tree. Hemlock tree is a poisonous tree. You see here before that, the way a crow. Here this line, the black crow is commonly a symbol of death and fear. Soak down on me the dust of snow. Since the snow is not associated with goodness, it is ironic in this poem. It is doing a good deed by shaking off the snow. From a hemlock tree. In this poem, the hemlock tree is usually associated with the poison and toxicity. Anyway, the beautiful snow that adorns the poisonous hemlock tree's branches is shaken off by a scary crow. Has given my heart a change of mood. Robert Frost uses the elements of the fearsome crow and poisonous hemlock tree to do something good. Shake the white pure snow of the branches. This good act lifts the suicidal person's spirit, causing him to change his mind about killing himself. The small act causes the man to have an enlightened insight. This last 2 lines analyze. Saved some part of a day I had rode. Rode, according to the dictionary, means to feel regret, repentance, pity, remorse, or sorrow for. However, the rue is also plant that is cultivated for its use medicinally. There is a bit of irony here. The Robert Frost refers to the poisonous hemlock and medicinal rue. So we have a poisonous hemlock tree covered in a pure and with snow, and man who is depressed, planning to kill himself, walking under the tree. At the precious moment, the black crow of death shake the pure and good snow onto the man. All the goodness helps the man to change his mind about killing himself. Instead, he decides to live, forget the regret and sorrow to the enlightened living. So in this line, the first stanza, the way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from hemlock tree. Very sad situation, bad mood. As the poet passes by, crow happens to throw some snow dust on him. Whether it falls on his head or shoulder is unknown, as there is no specific mention in this poem. Also, the readers are left in doubt about bird's specific action, whether the crow was landing, shivering with the cold, or adjusting itself on the branch it's taking off. It happened to send some particles of snow upon the author. Here the two agents of nature, the hemlock tree and the crow, signifies sadness or gloom, just like the poet's mood was in the opening scene. So how beautifully the poet has made these first 4 lines, and here second 4 lines. So there are 2 accented syllables in each line of the poem. This is called diameter because the line has 2 feet or 2 accented syllables per line. The poem is written as 2 short stanzas with 4 lines in each. The rhyme scheme is AB, AB. I can show you and see here: crow, me, snow, tree. Crow, the ending sound, snow, same. So A. Here me, tree. So let's take B, here B. A, B. Likewise, look at here, heart, part, mood, roid. So the rhyme scheme of this poem, AB. My dear students, let's have a very deep explanation for this poem. This poem is set in the scene where the poet is in a bad mood and is walking by hemlock tree. Hemlock tree is a poisonous tree. As he passes by, a crow happens to throw some snow dust on him. Whether it's fall on his head or shoulders is unknown, as there is no specific mention. In this poem also, the readers also left in doubt about the bird's specific action. So listen here, 2 agents of nature, hemlock tree and a crow. Normally we think that they are a symbol of bad things, symbol of bad omen. But these symbols, signifiers of sadness and gloom, they bring happiness here. And see here, for reason unknown, the author having a terrible day. The falling of the snow on his day, on his head lifted his mood instantly. That day, he began his day, terrible day. Describes a terrible day, very sad day. We know very well about the poet's life, the background we studied, so many losses, so much worries and sadness. So, in his life, a small incident has brought a bigger change. He had already spent his day in a bad mood, but the rest of the day was saved by the crow, the hemlock tree. The bad thing, the negative thing brought him positive. Generally, hemlock tree, crow are used for negative references, but the poet used them beautifully to portray that inauspicious things can bring joy and happiness too. One must take things for granted and should be open and accept whichever way the nature chooses to bless him. We have to accept all the things, whether negative things or positive things. My dear students, sometime when we face negative, actually that negative things will bring positive blessing for us. We think that it is negative, it is a danger. Sometimes the dangers which come to your life will become positive and blessing. Who knows? The covering part will be bad, but inside of that good things will be there. So the poet explains clearly here. Let's analyze deeply. The black crow is common symbol of death and fear. Soak down on me the dust of snow. Since the crow is not associated with the goodness, it is ironic in this poem. It is doing good by shaking up the snow. Hemlock tree is usually associated with the poison and toxicity. Anyway, the beautiful snow that adorns the poisonous hemlock tree branches are shaken off by a scary snow. Has given my heart a change of mood. The poet uses the elements of fearsome crow and poisonous hemlock tree to do something good. Shake the white and pure snow of the branches. This good act lifts the spirits of the person and causes the man to have an enlightened insight. This is an ordinary incident. This type of incident, ordinary incident, but it leaves a deep impact on the poet. We think that what is this? In this poem, very simple incident is explained. My dear students, very small incident and little incident in your life will bring you good blessings. Here his mood changes for better. He realizes the whole day is not wasted. The part of it is saved. The satisfaction replaces the regret. My dear students, some detailed literary devices we can discuss here. The rhyme scheme of the poem A B A B C D C D. Alliteration, the occurrence of the same consonant or consonant sound at the beginning of adjacent or closely connected words. The instances of alliteration are as follows. So see here, alliteration, has sound, here has sound. Consonant sound is repeated in the same line, so it is alliteration. Saved some what? Saved, yes, here yes. Consonant sound is repeated, so it is alliteration. Next, inversion. When the structure of sentence is changed by the poet to create rhyme. Structure of sentence, normally it will be subject, verb, object, but the structure is changed to give effective poetic effect. So it is called, now he has used, so inversion. First stanza, inversion can be seen. Assonance, what is the poetic device, literary device? Assonance, the prominence of a vowel sound throughout a line is called assonance. In stanza 1 and 2, shook down on me. Here shook down. O sound, vowel sound O is prominent here. So consonant, literary device, consonant is, assonance is used here. Next, enchantment. Another poetic device, enchantment is used here. What is enchantment? When the same sentence continues to the next line without the use of any punctuation mark. Already told you, the two stanzas are used without punctuation. There is no punctuation. So it is called enchantment. I can show you now. See here, in this poetic lines, there is no punctuation mark. There is no punctuation mark. So the name of the poetic device is used here, enchantment. So the literary device, enchantment. The next, I can tell you the overall summary of this poem. The short poem, it's a very short poem by the Robert Frost, throws light upon the unimaginable healing power of nature and tiny things. From a bad mood to health, there is nothing that can't be cured by nature. Unimaginable healing power. So many people are going after and searching healing power. Here healing power, if anyone is hurt, we can get medicine and we can apply and we can be healed. But any hurt is done in the psyche, that means mind of a people. So the healing power we need. The author, the poet, he gives healing power. He asks us to say the healing power in the nature. So unimaginable healing power, that is in nature, not only in nature, tiny things, little things, unimaginable healing powers are found in tiny things, in small things. From bad mood to little health, there is nothing that can be cured by nature. This line is very important. Nature can heal any feeling, any hurt, any worries. So go and spend your time with nature. The author was experienced one such bad day when a crow's movement near a hemlock tree dust of snow upon him. The snow instantly makes him happier. Nature made him happier. His day gets a lot better. Thus, the supremacy of nature as a whole made him realize how petty his problem was. When he went to nature, when he experienced the beauty of, when he experienced the unimaginable healing power of nature, all his problem became a small thing, a petty, unimportant, insignificant thing. The fact, the reality that hemlock tree is a poisonous combined with the crow being the indicator of doom and fear are used in this poem as a carriers of happiness in the life of a narrator is ironical here. The poet through these objects as a try to highlight what he wants to emphasize and what he wants to highlight here, that sometimes creatures linked with the negative aspects of life can be the bringer of change and happiness. Negative things will bring you happiness. Sometimes negativity will bring you positive things. So what we have to do, we should be open-minded. Being outdoors in the nature with all its unpredictability can benefit anyone, anywhere, at any time. So the words, difficult words, shake here, vibrate here. Hemlock, poisonous tree, moved the frame of the poet's mind. Ruin, regret and waste. And deeper meaning, annotation. What is the meaning for the word annotation? Deeper meaning of every word. Here crow, here bad woman here. And snow, happiness. And fall down on me. Here me is a frustrated, depressed poet. Hemlock tree is the poison of life, is a problem of life. Difficulties of life, obstacles of life. Deeper meaning here, the falling of snow, the activity, come here, falling of snow. Snow falls down. Gave a change, small particle, small incident when happens in your life, here has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of the day I had read. Here my heart here frustrated emotions, here emotions, all his frustrated emotions disappeared when a little particle of snow fell down on his. In this I have protected my day, here my day is my life which was getting ruined. Actually, I should have been bored and depressed in the remaining part of my life. But a small incident like this changed my mood and I became happy. The poet expresses. My dear students, we are living in the materialistic world, particularly the 21st century. Not only 21st century, even in the 18th century, 19th century, 20th century poets, they are talking about a materialistic world. The mindset of people are changed. They are going after money, material. There is no happiness in the people's mind. Many people, they become happy, they become richer and richer. They think and they hope that when they become richer, they can get happiness. No. Unimaginable healing power and real happiness can only be found in the nature. The day is rejoiced and made happy only in the serenity of nature. So let's welcome all the little things and welcome all the negative things. We should not worry about the problem. We should not worry about the difficulties and obstacles which are coming in our life. Let's face with open-minded. Let's welcome even in the insignificant things. Even in an insignificant thing will bring big happiness in our life. Let's discuss some question and answer now. First question, what is a dust of snow? What does the poet say has changed his mood? How has the poet's mood changed? Answer for this, dust of snow refers to the tiny particles of snow. The particles are so small that poet referred to them as dust. The poet was in awful mood when the particles of snow had fallen on him. This changed the poet's frame of mind instantly and his day got a lot better. Second question, how does Frost present nature in this poem? The following questions may help you to think of an answer. What are the birds that are usually named in poems? Do you think a crow is often mentioned in poems? What images come to your mind when you think of a crow? Answer for this, birds like a sparrow, nightingale and peacock are more than often named in poems. And like these birds, crows are often seen as the indicates of doom and fear. They are often used for negative references. Next question. Again, what is a hemlock tree? Why does not the poet write about more beautiful trees such as maple or an oak or a pine? Answer. Trees are also seen as mighty creatures imparting wisdom. As they are too old, they give out oxygen and absorb carbon dioxide, which is connected with absorbing all the negative energy. But there are trees that are poisonous too, like hemlock tree. The poet does not mention more beautiful trees such as maple, oak or pine, because he wants to indicate a sad scene. Being poisonous, hemlock tree is considered bad, and so he refers to it. So next question, what do the crow and hemlock represent, joy or sorrow? What does the dust of snow that a crow shakes off a hemlock tree stand for? Both crow and hemlock tree represents sorrow. Frost has used both the negative creatures, crow and the hemlock tree, as the carriers of positivism and the strength that transformed his day for the better. By not using birds like sparrow, nightingale and trees like maple, oak or pine, the poet has tried to break down all the preconceived notions we have about certain agents of nature. He has tried to make us understand that we see the world not as how it is, but as how we want to see it. Thus the crow sitting and the hemlock tree together made his day better. The dust of snow stands for joy. Now I want to give you two questions. You think and you write on your own words. First question, what is the underlying message for us in our hectic life with reference to the poem Dust of Snow? Second question, no matter how ordinary or unimportant an incident may be, it is the reaction or the response that matters. Taking inspiration from the poet's reaction, write how inherent values can be picked up and learnt. My dear students, write on your own words, and if you have any doubt regarding this poem, you can ask me. I will give you clarification and you can understand better. Thank you, my dear student. Read the poem again and you understand. You will enjoy the poem. The deeper meaning it is given in all the things, and you have to observe everything, and so many things we have learned. Here the poet has undergone with so many problems in his life. Based on his problem, how rest of his life changed, how the poem is given a very good explanation about our life, human life, how even have a negative thing will bring positive things in our life. We should face all the things. We should not bypass. We should accept everything. We should be focus minded and open minded, and we should analyze all our things in a right way. We should not get bored of life. We should not be worried of life. Many students are afraid of their life. You should not be afraid of your life. Face all the problems, face all the things, even a small. You please observe all small things. Even a small thing will bring you bigger change in your life. You accept everything and learn this poem again and again and memorize the poem. It is better. Thank you, my dear students. I will meet you in another video. Thank you so much.